Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our August foster parent info session. So tonight we're here with Patricia Lott, our recruitment director, and special guest Megan Garrett, one of our licensing assessors. She's been on before, and it's always nice to chat with you, Megan.
Nice to chat with you as well. Thank you.
So we're in August already and we're halfway through, and in just a month, our next online pre-service begins on Thursday, September 16th. And Pat will share a little bit more about what that's going to look like for our incoming foster families.
Sure. Hi, good evening, everybody. Once again, this next set of classes will be all online via Zoom from your couch, as we like to say. We weren't really sure up until a couple of weeks ago how the format was going to look. And with changes in the country, the push to move forward with remaining online is just probably the safest way to go for everyone. So the classes, as Liz said, September 16th, 6 to 9 p.m. The classes will be Tuesdays and Thursdays. And what you'll do is you'll be sent a link, a Zoom link. You will sign on. We're looking for participation where people, have their video on. It hasn't been perfect, but I can say we've gotten a lot of great families licensed this way. And after a couple of classes, everyone gets used to it. And, it feels a little more normal for you. So also, this will probably be our last class of 2021, which sounds kind of shocking to say, but this class will go until November. So really then with the holidays, that's how we usually do things. So if you have any interest at all in wanting to be a foster or foster to adopt parent, or could you provide respite, please reach out now to me. If you look below, we'll drop my direct line as well as my email, and the journey starts with me, and we would do an interview process, get all your questions answered so you're comfortable to join the next session. And then the way it works in our team is then I move you along to Megan, who is the person that you will get to know very well, doing your home study process, as well as, moving you along to decide what sort of child will work and feel best in your home. So I'm going to let Megan take it over now and talk a little bit about what that process looks like.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. Like Pat said, my name is Megan Garrett. I'm the licensing assessor here at Pathway. So during this process, I know we talked about training starting in September and ending in November. So that is one part. My piece comes in as the home study. There are a few parts to the home study. So I like to say that there's about 3 parts. So the first part is we meet, we get all your background information, we start to submit that. And then I give you a list of things that you need to work on, checklist, things that you need to turn in before I can start your actual home study in your home. So once those papers are turned in and I get those documents and I receive all of that from you, then we can move forward, schedule a time to be in your home. The home studies are they used to be virtual, and now that we're back in the home. So that will be the interviewing process as well as the safety audit that I will conduct. And, typically that's towards the end of you being close to being licensed. Anything else that we might need to finish up, we can, but that is typically how the series goes for home studies.
So thanks, Megan. Can we talk a little bit about how long a home study might be and just how a foster family might prepare for their home study with you?
Yeah, so there is an autobiography that I have people fill out beforehand. So this is just kind of a general getting to know that person and their children, any supports that might be in their life. So that's kind of how I do prepare people. you know, they fill that out and then I ask them questions a little bit more intensive. In terms of preparing, I don't want, you know, I want the real family. So it's so nice to be back in the homes, getting a feel for their family environment, just because it makes you feel more connected. You know, you're sharing all this personal information with me, and I like to make that relationship with people, so they feel comfortable talking to me about things and what are their, you know, strengths, their weaknesses, what makes their family, you know, a good choice to be a foster parent.
And we, as an agency, as Pathway, pride ourselves on the best fit for the child and the family. And so Megan's role when she's doing your home study, she's just taking notes on the feel, the vibe, the dynamic, if there's other children in the home. And then she gathers all of that, including your autobiography. And then when we get a referral for a foster child, we try to match those up as best as we can through our intake department.
Yes. And I always tell people that, you know, we are not in the business of just placing kids to place kids. We want to make meaningful placements. And that's really important to us.
Absolutely. If I can count the number of times we say moves hurt kids over and over, so we take it very seriously when we do place a child in a home. We want to preserve that placement in that family to be the best successful placement we can have.
Yes. And so, Pat, can you talk a little bit more about the types of referrals that we're getting and what we're asking of our foster families as far as flexibility and willingness to take on some challenges?
Absolutely. I love when people are open-minded and just ready to go with the flow. So many times in the foster care world, things change so quickly. So I love it when people are used to a little bit of chaos, not knowing exactly, you know, how their day is going to turn out. That usually works best for people. People that have an idea on, you know, how kids behave in the home, as well as when there may be some special needs presented to you. We are now getting many referrals, between 25 and 50 a week. These children are coming to us sometimes in sibling groups of 3. So I'm always looking for people that have the extra bedroom space. It's just sometimes, usually sib groups are a little threesome. I'm getting, always still getting teens and older children, sometimes as a sib group, sometimes just a child that may need a little special attention, that may come with some problems, whether that's behavioral problems, whether that's some emotional problems, where they could use a little extra TLC. Maybe they're getting some counseling services through our agency. So, you know, for you to be sort of used to or be prepared to have kids in your home that, you know, may give you a little bit of a challenge. So I would say sib groups, older and teens, as well as some medically fragile children that need just a little bit of extra care as a newborn. They could be in the NICU for a little while and then need just temporary care until they're looking for a birth family member to maybe be able to come up and offer their home to the child. So sometimes the placements are very short while the county is looking for a family member, or sometimes they do turn into long-term placements. Always looking for people that are willing to take on a challenge. Some of the basic requirements, as we talked a little bit about, going through a background check. We do check, of course, state of Ohio as well as FBI background check. We do references, as well as while you're going through the process, we're collecting paperwork to make sure your home is a safe, nurturing environment.
And Pathway staff are here every step of the way, including Megan and Pat, to answer your questions. I mean, any question is a good question.
Yes.
And so wrapping tonight's info session up, we just want to remind you once again, our next online pre-service begins Thursday, September 16th. And the first step is to reach out to Pat, which her contact info is in the comments of this stream. And we just hope that you'll open your heart and your home, or if you know someone willing to share, that Pathway is always looking for foster homes. And thanks, Megan, for joining us tonight. Always
You're
nice.
welcome. Thank you.
And we'll see you next month.